The scripture, if you got a problem with it, fall down and die.
Psalms chapter 2 verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
All other nations are going to be slaves in the kingdom of heaven. Slaves under the children of Israel, the 12 tribes. You Native Americans, Mexicans, and you Negroes. We're going to be kings in the kingdom of heaven, and all other nations, you Hamites, you Arabs, you Chinese, you Japanese, you Turkish, Russians, Greeks, Germans, get ready for slavery. In the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be our heaven. So saith the scripture. You ignoramus don't come up here and say nothing. Just sit down and try to learn something.
Isaiah chapter 14 verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
Read that again.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
These people, read.
And will yet choose Israel.
These people, that's who God chose. And nobody else. Read.
And set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
The strangers are talking about Israelite foreigners, idiots that don't know they're Israelites, claiming to be Moroccan, and don't know where Morocco is on the map. Oh, I'm a Moroccan. You don't know Moroccans are Africans? You don't know that Morocco is on the African continent? You idiot! How you gonna come up, you're gonna try to say something you know nothing about, and you're talking to somebody, some idiot just asked me, have you been to Egypt? The answer is yes. Yes, I've been to Egypt. So that trumps your stupid question, because I know you haven't been, and you don't know the history of Egypt.
James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High, in the end of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
The whole Bible tells you who the Bible is for. In the opening of the book of James, he comes straight out and tells you who these epistles, who this chapter, what this book is, who it's pertaining to. Read that again, please.
James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
He's talking to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered abroad, who are the Israelite foreigners, who are the strangers that shall be joined with them. Now, that idiot could have damn well been a Hamite. He's so spaced out, he doesn't know who he is, it's obvious. And then he's gonna claim to be somebody who you know nothing about. Like we don't see that, like we don't know what we're up here talking about. Everybody that came to sit down and listen came to see if they could find a chink in the armor, and once you got embarrassed in front of everybody, you had to creep your little butt up out of here. Well, we're not even talking to you. We're here to edify the camera. So if you come up here and ask a question, it better be a legitimate question, and if you choose to scoff, you're going to get sliced up by the scriptures, because there ain't no there's no ignorance up here.
Isaiah chapter 14:2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Those are slaves. The land of Israel is going to possess all the other nations for servants and handmaids, which translates into slaves. Read.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
Who had us in captivity? In the land of America, in Babylon, in Assyria, in Egypt, in Greece, in Rome. Who had these people in captivity? Well, everybody who did is going to be under our captivity according to the scriptures. Read that again, please.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Who has oppressed us to this day? Who is oppressing the Mexican Americans to this day? When a Mexican gardener goes to the north end of Fresno to make $3 for working in the hot sun all day, is that not oppression? There's no yoke on his back, and he's not getting whipped, but he's still in slavery, and his slave master got him doing the lawn like they used to do after the conquistadors came over here and made slaves out of them. It's the same thing with no chains to this day. Well, all of that is going to turn around. Here's the good news. The word gospel means good news. Who is it good news for? For you so-called Mexicans. Here's the good news. In the kingdom of heaven, it's good news for you because you're going to be the kings. People are going to carry you on their shoulders. You Mexican Americans, you Native American Indians, and you Negroes are going to have slaves that carry you around on their shoulders, and your feet will never have to touch the ground. You're going to have gold, you're going to live in palaces, you're going to have as many women as you want from your nation and other nations as slaves and concubines. That's good news, whether you agree with it or not. It's beautiful to me. That would be like, it would be like heaven. Read. You got it.
Isaiah 29:9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers have he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, Read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed.
You and your preacher that you go to on Sunday morning are in the spirit of deep sleep. And you go to him, you go to your preacher, your pastor, and ask him to break down the book of Revelation. First thing he'll tell you is, I can't tell you what it means because it's sealed. Well, you know what? It's sealed to you. And it's been revealed to the prophets of the Most High, standing before you, Lord willing. And we're sitting here trying to enlighten you, as we're commanded to come out here and do, and all you can do is scoff with no knowledge whatsoever, is sheer stupidity and ignorance. And what we're doing is we're crying aloud and sparing not. So when a nigga comes up here and don't know what the word nigga means and gets offended because you call him one, which happens every day, most likely you are a nigga in the other sense of the word. Ignorant ass.
Matthew chapter 13 verse 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them.
What's going on right here is the same thing that happened when Noah was telling everybody there was going to be a flood. We're out here right now telling you there's going to be a flood, but not a flood. There's going to be nuclear destruction, and America's going to be destroyed. And guess what? I know you Mexicans out there acting like all you speak is Spanish. I know you understand me. You understand when you want to. And then you're going to act like you all don't speak any English. I know you understand me. Right? In the days of Noah, Noah used to go out and do exactly what we're doing right now. Telling people destruction is on the way. And all you Israelites come up and do is, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And guess what? One day it started to rain because it ain't never rained before. They didn't know what rain was. And when the water got up to right here, they was knocking on that boat trying to get in. That's exactly what's going on right now.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
It's starting to rain out here. It's raining. And when it starts raining real hard, it's going to be raining nuclear missiles right on the top of your dome. And it's going to be too late for you. Noah saved himself and his family. 3 sons, their wives, and his wife. They were saved in an ark. Well, this time it's not going to be water. It's going to be these missiles, fire. It's going to be fire. The whole of America is going to be destroyed. What is the ark this time? Well, that's what we came out here and started talking about. The ark, when this fire comes, when these missiles are in the air, it's going to be as in the days of Noah. The ark is going to be what the so-called white man calls a UFO. Because the scriptures tell you what a so-called UFO is. They have a name, they have a function. The name is the chariots of Israel. Can't tell me you haven't sat in the church and sang an old spiritual that goes, swing low, sweet what? Sweet what? You know? What is it? You know that?
We were singing it, the slave.